There's a haunted staircase downtown, a high school that used to be a hotel and burned down before anyone ever stayed in it, and a secret underground city right beneath your feet.
Yeah, Tacoma, Washington is weirder than you think. People love to compare Tacoma to Seattle. It's the gritty little sibling, they say. Cool, but a little rough around the edges. What they usually don't say is that Tacoma is one of the strangest, most interesting cities in the Pacific Northwest. And I'm not talking about weird in a bad way. I mean, the kind of weird that makes you raise your eyebrows, tilt your head, and say, wait, seriously? Today, we're diving into the strange side of Tacoma. The stories, places, and details that even longtime locals may not know. And if you stick around to the end, I guarantee you will never look at Tacoma in the same way. Let's talk about something hiding right underneath downtown, Tacoma's underground city. Yep, there is literally a whole lower level of sidewalks, building entrances, and passageways buried beneath the street level. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, Tacoma had serious flooding and sewer problems. So instead of digging new drains, the city came up with a pretty wild fix. They raised the streets by an entire story. Businesses just bricked up their first floor doors and opened up new ones one level higher. Some of those old doors and windows, they're still there, underneath your feet. In fact, if you go into some of the basements of some downtown buildings, you can see arched entrances and some of the remnants of the original street level. Most of it's sealed off now, but you'll still find the odd peek into the past, a window into a forgotten world. It's quiet, dark, eerie, and very Tacoma. Right above that hidden level is something much more visible and just as mysterious: the Spanish Steps. These steps are tucked between Broadway and Commerce Street downtown. They curve elegantly and have built-in lamps and totally stand out in a city that's mostly made up of brick and concrete. They were built in 1916, modeled after the famous Spanish Steps in Rome. But here's the weird part. Nobody's really sure why. There wasn't a huge demand for a public staircase. There was no major event that inspired them. They were just built. Like someone decided Tacoma needed a little European flair. Today, they're a favorite spot for photographers and movie scenes. And late at night, some people say you can hear footsteps on the stairs when no one's there. Haunted or not, they're definitely one of the most unexpected things to see in the city. Speaking of unexpected, let's talk about Stadium High School. You've seen it even if you don't realize it. It's that castle-looking building up on the bluff overlooking Commencement Bay. But here's the wild part. It was never meant to be a school. In the 1890s, it was being built as a luxury hotel by the Northern Pacific Railroad. The goal? To attract high-end travelers to Tacoma's booming port. But before it opened, a massive fire broke through, destroying most of the building structure. For years, it sat as a burned-out shell. Eventually, the school district jumped in and said, let's turn this into a high school. They rebuilt what they could, preserved the bones of the building, and turned it into one of the most beautiful schools in the country. Seriously, it looks like Hogwarts. Students eat lunch with a view of the Puget Sound. There's ivy crawling up the walls, arched entryways, and enough ghost stories to fill a Netflix series. It was also the filming location for 10 Things I Hate About You. So if it looks familiar, that's why. Thinking about moving to the Tacoma, Washington or South Sound area? Well, I've got just the thing for you. My team and I have created the ultimate relocation guide to save you hours of research, and it's linked below. From the most popular neighborhoods to top-rated schools and all the other things you want to know before moving here. The best part is this guide is 100% free to you. Just click the link in the description or the top pinned comment. I hope this helps. Next up, let's talk about Galloping Gertie, one of Tacoma's most infamous disasters. In 1940, Tacoma opened up the original Narrows Bridge, a sleek suspension bridge that was meant to rival San Francisco's Golden Gate. But there was a problem. The design could not handle the wind, not even a little bit. When gusts came through the Narrows, the bridge would twist and ripple like a ribbon. Drivers said it felt like they were riding a roller coaster. 4 months after the bridge opened, it collapsed completely into the Puget Sound. There's actual footage of it. The bridge bends and swings like it's made of rubber, and then just rips apart and falls. It's still shown in engineering classes as a cautionary tale. The only fatality? A little black Cocker Spaniel named Tubby, who is too scared to leave a car stuck on the bridge. Sad, but true. The new Narrows Bridge, one I cross every single day, is much safer. But Galloping Gertie will always be part of Tacoma's lore. Now, here's a strange one. If you've ever caught a whiff of it, you'll know what I mean. The Aroma of Tacoma. Yes, that's a real phrase. For decades, Tacoma was known for its unique scent, specifically the sulfuric rotten egg smell that came from the paper mills and other industrial plants along the waterfront. It was so strong that people driving through town would roll up their windows and hold their breath. In the early 1900s, the city did everything they could to fix the smell, including spraying perfume-like scents into public spaces downtown. Seriously. The idea was to cover up the stench with floral and citrus smells, kind of like a giant bottle of Febreze. Did it work? No, not really. But you have to respect the effort. Today, thanks to environmental regulations and cleaner industry practices, the aroma of Tacoma is mostly a thing of the past. But every now and then, when the wind shifts just right, you'll get a little whiff of Tacoma history. Let's go from scent to sight and talk about glass, because no city does glass like Tacoma. That's thanks to Dale Chihuly, one of the world's most famous glass artists. He was born and raised right here. Tacoma has embraced that legacy in a big way, especially on the Bridge of Glass. And it's filled with thousands of hand-blown glass pieces, all designed by Chihuly himself. There are 40-foot towers made of spiraling glass, a glowing ceiling full of colorful sea creatures, and massive walls lined with intricate patterns. Here's the strange part. Most people walk across it and have no idea they're passing millions of dollars worth of art. It's public, it's open 24/7, and at night, when the lights hit just right, it feels like you're walking through a dream. It's one of the most unique and underappreciated places in the city. Hey guys, it's Ruthie, and as much as I love making these videos, there's one thing I love more, and that's helping families and people from all over the US make the move to Tacoma, Washington. I've helped hundreds of families make the move, so whether you're coming out next week, next month, or next year, I'd love to help. My contact information is right here and linked in the description. My team and I look forward to helping you and your family make the move to Tacoma, Washington. And now, one more strange thing. This one's a bit more hidden, but very real. Tacoma's forgotten streetcar system. In the early 1900s, Tacoma had a full electric streetcar system. You could hop on a trolley in the Stadium District, head downtown, and continue all the way to South Tacoma, or even out to Point Defiance. It was fast, cheap, and incredibly popular. Then, cars took over. Within a couple decades, the streetcars were gone. Tracks were paved over, lines were shut down, and the city moved on. But if you look closely, you'll still find traces. Old metal rails poking through cracked pavement, overhead wire mounts still attached to buildings. Little clues that Tacoma once had a very different transportation system. So here's the big takeaway. Tacoma's weirdness isn't always obvious. You won't find it on billboards or in the travel brochures, but it's there. In the sidewalks, in the buildings, and in the stories people tell you if you know who to ask. The key moment here, if you think Tacoma is just another mid-sized city with nice views and semi-affordable homes, you're missing the good stuff. This city is full of surprises. The kind that make you go, wait, that happened here? It's weird, it's wonderful, and it's 100% worth exploring.